You know what's weird? Weird. I was thinking today's National Crab Stuffed Flounder Day, and I think to myself, who took the time to go down to the government and say this needs to be a national day
A petition at whitehouse.org.
that says let's make this National Crab Stuffed Flounder Day? Why wouldn't you want that?
I don't understand why there is National Crab Stuffed Flounder Day and we're living in a world with Fairies Day.
That's what I was talking about, because fairies are real.
I didn't know that until I got the phone call this morning from someone I've known for probably, many, many years who has just finished a documentary on fairies living among us on the earth.
What's the difference between a documentary and a documentary?
Well, this guy makes documentaries, so maybe he can tell us.
Is it the Terry Cloth?
Where are we?
This is great. So this is I'm going to call this the official lair of the podcast.
All right, so we don't have it reminds me of like the Bat Cave where where Morgan Freeman is working on research and development.
Yes.
Doesn't it?
Well, I know this used to be at some point a car dealership showroom.
Yeah.
It has been stripped down, and now it's our lair, our secret lair.
Every time I talk to somebody in the company about it, it was a different dealership. Oh, yeah, this was Honda. Oh, this was GMC. Oh, this was Chrysler. I'm not sure what we sold.
I think Run DMC's video was shot in here, actually.
Entirely possible. All right, so coming up, we have a whole lot of things going on. We just finished up the World Ag Expo. What was it like for you?
This was I guess we made a plan last year to do more. And this year we did more. And we ended up shooting so many videos, interviewing so many people, more than we've ever done before. And I actually feel like there's more we could do. But I met so many people.
It was a good time, right?
Yeah.
I didn't get around, and the weather was perfect for the first time in a long time. The weather was perfect, and I didn't get around the ag show like I usually do. Probably because we didn't have a golf cart.
Okay, what's the weirdest thing you saw out there, though?
The weirdest what?
The weirdest thing is, for me, I came across a company that they get rid of rodents and rats and stuff, and that was their whole business.
So I saw two weird things. I saw the bird scarer.
The bird scarer?
And I saw you and Oriana being put in handcuffs.
Yeah, that did happen.
That was probably the weirdest thing I saw at the World Ag Expo this year.
I have a reputation sometimes, and it's not even true. Like, Oriana got permission from somebody to get a golf cart. Well, next thing you know, we're hearing on the radio, Gnarly Charlie has stolen a golf cart. Gnarly Charlie. And I didn't steal anything.
There was an all-points bulletin. Yes. Has anybody got eyes on Gnarly Charlie?
And I was like, oh, my gosh. And then, so this is the head CEO guy of the fair. And just previously, I saw Trump talking about him. Trump did a big old thing about and I go, that guy just told on me. The guy that Trump's talking about just put an APP out for me for stealing a golf cart that I didn't steal.
It's like 2 degrees of Kevin Bacon.
I'm telling you, that is true.
Yeah.
It's kind of weird like that.
It was great. It's great. The best thing about the farm show is you get a chance to see people you haven't seen in a long time. And I dig that. Some people you only see once a year at the Fair of the Ag Show, right?
I like the stuff that they hand out. Like, you think about it, you got a business and you order 1,000 of whatever. Somebody had rulers out there. They always have rulers. Somebody had big foam hats. Somebody had little wooden shoes on a keychain. I mean, there's so many different things.
There's stuff that's in my office after the World Ag Expo every year, just like that.
K-Jug country. Let's go, baby.
Yeah.
He said 6'7". He got older.
6'7", 6'7".
It almost sounds like Bailey Zimmerman. Zimmerman.
6'7".
There's something there.
I love the energy that just came into the room. You're always ready to go, man.
Oh man, in a world full of negatives, you got to be a positive man.
Yeah,
and we are in control of our happiness.
And that's true. That's the one thing we can't control.
Yep.
Our level of funness and happiness.
Yep. Even when somebody around you is negative, just keep being that positive. Let's go, because that's going to bring more smiles than being negative.
Hey, it must be tough sometimes because you've got to be tired, man. You're always going. You're always out there.
Well, God blessed me with ADHD.
Yes.
And he blessed me with passion and fire. And every day I wake up, dude, I can't wait to get out of bed. I can't wait to write more songs. I can't wait to put another Instagram post, a TikTok up. I'm so grateful for my life because, man, I grew up poor, man. I grew up in a trailer with my mom. We never had opportunity. I thought I was going to have to, do this blue-collar job for the rest of my life that I hated. And now I'm sitting here talking with you guys on country radio. This is crazy. So how could I not be? I mean, it's unbelievable.
I was diagnosed with HD.
Yep.
80 times. So I think I have ADHD too.
Yes.
Hey, so I love this. So when you're talking about when you were growing up in your town, Drew Baldridge was kind of the hero. He's the guy that made it, right?
He was on country radio. It was a big deal.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
And you reached out to him when you were trying to make music happen.
Yeah, I remember he texted me on Facebook Messenger and was like, hey, man, I heard you got a song out and you're trying to do country music. If you ever need anything, I would love to just help you in any way. And I immediately called him, and he's been with me ever since. I called him that day, and from then on, he was my first write in Nashville. I went to his house and wrote a song. I actually just got done with an amphitheater tour where he got to go on tour with me. I got to bring him on tour with me, and it's a really, really full circle story, man. And that dude is the most deserving of all the success that he's got. He took that song to country radio by himself. Somebody's daughter. It was such an inspiration to the whole town, and seeing his work ethic keeps me going. So yeah, I'm grateful for our friendship.
Zimmerman is in the house, and they're getting us to wrap it up. But it's hard to wrap up Bailey.
Good to see you, man.
No, I told them I'm going to talk too much. This is my problem. I have ADHD. So it's a blessing and a curse, boys.
That's right.
Yep.
like it.
Yes,
Buddy.
but I appreciate the time.
Welcome
And
to the jug, baby.
hey,
All
thanks
right.
for having me, Jug. Let's go. Love you. Bye.
Take care, brother. All right, so I have a question for you. Hey, what's going on over here?
It looks like,
Is he going to call one of us to find out what's going on?
yeah, probably.
No, he's just taking an important phone call.
What you're not seeing is our general manager walking around the building. He looks like he's upset.
Does anyone have eyes on Gnarly Charlie?
We heard about the golf cart.
All right. So, hey, speaking of Kevin Bacon.
Okay.
And 6 Degrees of Kevin Bacon. I was looking through a People magazine the other day, and I was only about 4 pages in before I was like, a lot of people in People magazine, I actually have stories about having met them. And
Had
I
some
thought,
interaction with him.
if Charlie and I sat down with a People magazine, I'll bet we could go through the first 10 pages and come up with 5 or 6 stories about people that we've met.
Actually, okay, and it's not even a braggy thing because you and I have had an opportunity to meet lots of people.
And we're jerks. We are unimpressed by everybody.
But it's crazy. I'll be watching TV and I don't even say anything now because it sounds like you're bragging, but I'm like, oh yeah, that's Jerry Mathers.
It sounds like
I
you're
think he hated me.
bragging. Will you bleep it, Hector, if I call this starfucker? Everybody's a starfucker, right?
That's true.
Okay, so
That is true.
So nobody is a bigger starfucker than us. So here we go.
All right, let's
so
see what-
People magazine. Okay, on the cover, Justin and Haley Bieber. I claim Justin.
Okay, I met him one time in Clovis. He was at Old Town Saloon.
Okay, we didn't even get past the cover.
I'm already there.
And we've got stories. All right, I can't tell my story about him. Catherine O'Hara, Savannah Guthrie. I'm sad about Savannah.
You're on page 1 now.
All right, page 1.
Minus
Here we
the
go.
Cheerios ad.
All right, Michael Douglas. No.
I don't have a Michael Douglas.
Adrian Brody.
No.
Margot Robbie.
Mm-mm.
No, okay. Got
Oh,
no one
wow.
on that page.
Maybe we're not as cool as we thought we
Maybe
were.
we don't know anybody. Paul Anka.
I guarantee your Vegas time, you've got a Paul Anka.
Paul Anka told me a story about being evicted from his home. And his home is where the MGM Grand parking structure used to be. The city eminent domained his ass out of that home because they wanted to build the MGM Grand.
Where they put that big lion head thing.
Yeah. And so he sued them, and they settled for a contract. Paul Anka, up until just a couple years, would play shows at the MGM Grand every year for like 15, 20, 25 years.
Oh, yeah. All right.
And it was part of the settlement. All right, who else we got here?
Maybe I'm just not as cool as I thought I was.
Bad Bunny,
I met Hugh Hefner once.
Lady Gaga, Kendrick Lamar.
I got nothing.
I'll bet you have a Kelly or Sharon or Ozzy Osbourne story.
I don't have either of those.
Miserable failure, this experiment.
I mean, yeah, I do. I remember now.
How about Cher?
Cher is she went to Mount Whitney High School.
personal story. Any stories? She didn't go to Mount Whitney High School. What are you talking?
She went to Fresno High.
You're just making stuff
No, she's
up
from
now.
Fresno High.
Stories. Miley Cyrus?
Yes, I met her father one time.
Have you met Miley?
I went to a taping of the Jimmy Kimmel Show, and she was the guest.
Okay. All right.
But I didn't get to talk to her.
You have a story about Reba.
I do. I've met Reba a few times.
Give it.
Well, which one? The good one or the when I interviewed her? Because basically, I had a TV show, and she was going to be on it, and they said, I know you had 20 minutes scheduled for her, but you can only have 5. So I did the interview as quick as I could, and I finished in 3, and I said, that's all I need. You owe me 2 later.
Isn't that terrible when you prepare for an interview and somebody comes over, it's usually a handler, and they say, hey, we're going to hold you to 75 seconds on this.
But I don't think it's her. I think it could be. I don't know. I had a similar thing with Buck Owens. I went to the Crystal Palace. I was going to interview Buck, and Buck hadn't been feeling good, but he came back to do the interview with me. And right before I was going to talk to him, and granted, I have a price tag hanging off my hat, right?
Yeah.
Oh, don't bring up hee-haw, because he hated it. And I went, what? That's
Oh,
all
no.
I have is hee-haw jokes.
He considers that to be a sellout period for him.
Yeah,
right?
well, he had 21 number ones before he ever was on Hee Haw, and that's what he's most proud of. And honestly, I don't know if Buck was really been that upset, because he seemed to be pretty cool about everything.
All right, we're only on page 8. Do you have a Shania Twain story?
I do have a Shania Twain story. I met her, and that's because I met her and I had a good interaction with her. I got hired to work in Canada. If I wouldn't have had that footage of Shania, and basically she was brand new, she didn't have any
You're talking about your CMT show.
I would
You
not
would
have.
have never been hired at CMT
No.
Canada.
So Shania had just had a song called "What Made You Say It." Never was very big, but I remember I liked it. And she walked by where we were filming, and this is way before she was Shania, and she just seemed. She goes, "Oh, I got this new album come out. It's about horses and boots," and it was the one that made her. Well, so I go, "Hey, you want to do something funny?" I go, "Pretend you're a statue," and then she laid on the floor, and I go. I pretend it was a wax figure of her, and I'm walking. I go, look, this looks so real. And I go, look, you can see it looks like they have a booger in her nose too, And she's trying not to laugh. And she's holding it, and I just went on. And at the end, she laughed, and she says, "In fact, Hector, play this about where she says she loves me. See." She loves me. She clearly said, "I love Gnarly Charlie."
That's fantastic. I remember when you and I talked about this when she was doing her farewell tour. She's done a lot of shows since that farewell tour.
Yeah.
Remember, it was Fresno
no
was going to be her
farewell.
last chance to see her. No, Save Mart Center was not the last chance. She's done a lot of shows.
Did we
since then.
come up with the idea, if you call farewell tour and I pay for it, if you come out with a new one, I get it in for free?
Yeah. Not only that, but you probably owe me money for damages, too. All right, Mariah Carey. I have a Mariah Carey story, but I wasn't there, so I can't tell that story. All right, let's see.
So this is just some personal story.
Yeah, Lainey Wilson. All right, so Lainey Wilson came and played her first song for us right here in the lobby, and she was perfectly great, except that when she talked, we didn't understand what she was saying. Her accent is so strong that we stood there talking to her just going like this. She could have told us that she had stage 4 sarcoma or something.
You don't even know.
Like,
you don't even know.
Johnny Depp?
Johnny Depp. I don't have a Johnny Depp. I feel like I do. I feel like I'm close to a Johnny Depp story, but I don't.
I feel like you're going to have an Amy Grant story for me.
I have met Amy Grant when she was a fat little baby. That was her song. It was about baby Christians that they're not good Christians. It was. And I worked at a Christian radio station in Italy for 3 months. Radio Vita Cinque.
You worked at a Christian radio station in Italy
that played English Christian music.
Okay.
Yeah, and Amy was in town doing something, and she came by the station, and so I didn't interview her, but I got to talk to her, and they didn't have like real radio equipment. They had like a CD player, a five disc one, right? And they would, so if I wanted to play cut 3 on disc 2, I knew that if I use the remote, it takes 28 seconds for it to, so with 28 seconds left on your song, you hit the next one. It was ridiculous.
Dude, that is like flying without.
It was the worst, and guarantee you're gonna be off 2 seconds every
Sure.
time, because I don't know, it just
You have to get comfortable with the silence. We're told to avoid that silence on the radio, right?
yeah.
It's very difficult to get comfortable with it. Wow, that's a great story. I love that. Let's see, Michelle Pfeiffer,
I don't have a 5.
Matthew Broderick. Oh, here's Matthew with Sarah Jessica Parker. Matthew is married to Sarah Jessica Parker. Okay, so in the year 2004, I decided to go to Europe.
Okay.
And I took a flight to, wow, I used points to do it. So I had to zigzag. I flew to Phoenix and then flew to New York and then flew to Barcelona and then to Amsterdam. In New York City, I'm standing in line to check in for my flight. Sarah Jessica Parker is right ahead of me, right?
Mm-hmm.
And I'm like, oh, that's Sarah Jessica Parker. That's great. And the ticket agent was really excited and was, very much like, oh, I just love you. And, stamping tickets and all that stuff, and hands her tickets. And she goes, okay, which way? And she points her to the direction. Then we get up there in line and she hands us our tickets. We go and we open up the tickets and I have my boarding pass, my buddy Scott's boarding pass, and Sarah's boarding pass.
You have Sarah's.
I have Sarah's boarding pass.
Oh, wait, whoa.
We're like, which way did she go? Which way did she go? We need to find her. And eventually we made our peace with it, and I kept it. I kept the boarding pass because I thought, if I don't have a boarding pass, they turn me around at TSA, they send me back, they double check my ID. If Sarah doesn't have a boarding pass, they probably put her in a golf cart, drive her to the
Hey,
plane.
give her some new Mont Blanc shoes.
Ask her if she wants to fly. Our buddy Lorraine went to an event with Sarah's new shoe line,
Mhm.
and Sarah fitted her with shoes.
Oh,
I got some pictures of that we got to show. Look at this. It's
Oh,
our
that-
buddy Lorraine.
That's good. She needs to come on to verify some of these stories too.
She has a lot of great stories because she worked in LA for so long. And you want to talk about in the face of everywhere you go is somebody who's either a star or wants to be a star, right? Okay, how about
Wait, that's when we were direct competitors. I was on the country morning show, and you and Lorraine we competed against each other,
That's right.
but not really.
No, it's friendly competition, right?
Yeah.
All right, still looking. We're up to page 16.
Okay.
Charlie. You got anything for any one of the Beatles?
Yeah.
Go.
I'm checking. I just got married. We're on our honeymoon, and we are in. It's where they filmed the James Bond stuff. Monaco. We're in Monaco. Check it into the hotel. Ringo Starr is.
Wait, can I just say we're starting to sound really elitist? So you're like, Rick, I was in Monaco,
I
and
just got off the.
That is-
I was rich then. I just got off the
I was in
Concorde.
Monaco. I went to Monaco off the Concorde, like you do.
Well, Spike Lee was on the plane with me, and then I take a cab to the Hotel de Paris. That's what it's called. Ringo and his wife are checking in front of us, right? And I go to my wife, brand new married. Hey, that's Ringo. And she goes, Ringo who? And I go, what? What do you mean? And I go, I knew it was doomed. I was doomed.
This marriage is over.
It's not good. Ringo was his name. How many Ringos are there in the world?
Wait a second though. You flew there on the Concorde.
Yeah.
You're in Monaco.
Monaco.
And so you're probably like to yourself saying, yeah, this is not going to work. I'm probably only going to last for 10 or 12 years.
Yeah.
A few more Concorde flights.
Yeah, but honestly, it was a weird thing because I was like, I did not belong in this hotel. Like every time I came in, security would check me and make sure I belonged here. Because I was like, what? No, I'm staying here.
That's hilarious.
Yeah.
You just have a look about you.
I have that look of, you do not belong in the hotel.
That's
you Paris.
great. Well, when I was in Las Vegas, I knew George Harrison's sister pretty well.
That's pretty good.
Louise was promoting a Beatles impersonator show.
Wait, hold on. Did you ever say, geez, Louise? Yeah,
No, never did. I thought she was a very sweet lady. And she had a lot to do with bringing the Beatles music to the United States. Before the Great British Invasion,
Mm-hmm.
George would send her vinyl and she would ship it out to radio stations all over the United States trying to get someone to play it.
Oh, that's cool.
And she never got credit for that, I don't think.
I just heard a story. It was Ringo went to visit George Harrison for the last time. George was pretty sick, and Ringo was going to go to some record signing or something in the area, and as he was leaving, Ringo's thinking that's probably the last time I see him, and he's really sick. And George goes, "Hey, I'll go with you. Let me get my bags." And Ringo just thought that was hilarious. That there's no way George could go, and that was like the last thing he ever said to him.
Wow.
Pretty cool, huh?
Yeah, that's a great story. Last time I was in Nashville, I saw Ringo not sing, which, by the way, I could listen to Ringo talk forever because he has a sing-song way about
Yeah.
speaking, right?
Yeah.
I'd rather hear him talk than sing.
He's married. So he's married to Joe Cocker. Is it Joe Cocker? The guy from the Beatles. I mean the Eagles. I'm saying it wrong. It's not Joe Cocker.
Joe Walsh?
Joe Walsh and Ringo are brother-in-laws.
You're kidding.
They're married to sisters.
Okay, I've never heard that.
Yeah.
Have you got a story about you kicking Jason Momoa's ass?
Yeah, I do. But I can't legally talk about it for another 3 more years.
Oh. We're up to page 18. Bruce Willis, Demi Moore.
I
I got no stories there. Chris Farley.
don't have a Farley. I want to have a Farley.
Rob Schneider.
No Schneid either.
Okay, so this is serendipitous. We're up to page 19. Demond Wilson.
Holy moly! Yes.
Demond Wilson was Lamont on Safford and Son.
And so I'm working at a church. This is in 1988, and I'm the basketball coach for the 7th and 8th grade girls. His daughters are on my team, right? And this is my first time to meet a celebrity. And in my mind, we were going to be best friends until I went up and said, the worst thing you'd say is, "I'm your biggest fan." And and he just looked at me like, "Why are you speaking to me?" And move along, cracker.
Well, so, I mean, honestly, so that's a legitimate question. Did Demond Wilson have a biggest fan? I mean, were you actually just saying something that people say, or were you Demond Wilson?
I liked the show. I actually didn't really like him on the show.
Yeah.
He was a dummy. And I did find out his first name's Grady. I did not know that.
You're like the guy in the show, Grady.
Yeah, that's his first name.
I love that. That's fantastic.
That's so funny stuff right there.
All right, so we are just 20 pages in, and we have filled 20 minutes with
Of just People Magazine.
Yeah, I feel like I could find at least 5 or 6 more people that you have stories about in here if I tried really hard.
Okay, wait. I got to share something with you, and it involves the kid right here. All right. I had a dream last night, right? And the dream was kind of silly, and I always dream about orcas and things. And
Is anybody else uncomfortable?
well, no, but this is a decent dream. It was a bunch of us from the radio station were playing baseball against somebody in a park, normal. But then all of a sudden it flipped and we were in my grandma's house, which is not a very big house. And we're playing full baseball. And Hector goes to me in my dream, "Hey, you want to use my bat?" And it looked like a Bud Light aluminum thing. And I go, "Yeah, I do." And then I got a big hit from it. And I woke up and I just go, I need to interpret this dream. I need to know what this is about.
Okay.
And so I went to ChatGPT and I said, "Break this dream down for me." This is what ChatGPT told me. It says, "The baseball field represents leadership and teamwork. The move into your grandmother's house symbolizes emotional grounding and generational strength. The orcas represent power and intelligence." And it said, I'm basically saying I'm powerful, emotionally intelligent, and very significant leader. A visionary, a modern hero. That's what I was taking from this.
Okay.
But it didn't stop. It then said, well, the confined indoor setting may represent limited spatial reasoning. Continue to swinging at bats indoors suggests poor judgment. And recurring killer whales may indicate fixation patterns. In conclusion, I'm either a misunderstood genius or I'm not very smart.
You know, it's starting to ring a little truer.
I was thinking, oh, this is cool. Then I was like, I'm an idiot, is what it is.
That's funny. I've got to ask Chat GPT to interpret some of my dreams. Like why is your mom always there?
You might want to think twice because he's kind of truthful in a hurtful way. It's like really? Is that bad? Am I that bad? Hey, did you like my new sweatshirt? Look at this.
I love it. You got it for the farm show, didn't you?
I got it for the farm show, and everyone says that stitching is amazing.
So, do you know what movie I watched last night that I haven't seen in a long time? I came home and it was on. I'm like, Mom, I'm not going to leave the remote out for you anymore because I come home, you're watching the strangest things. She was watching Sleepless in Seattle.
Oh,
So I remember 30 years ago watching Sleepless in Seattle. It's 33 years old.
I get
actually.
that mixed up with Harry Met Sally.
Yeah, yeah.
They're
me too
kind of the same
sometimes.
movie.
But I remember watching it, and I fell in love with the soundtrack. And so last night we sat and watched it, and I love the movie, and I know every song on that soundtrack, whether it's by Jimmy Durante or whether it's everybody on there.
Everybody.
Carly Simon is on the soundtrack, and it's great. And that soundtrack just brought me back. I haven't listened to it in probably 20, 25 years.
In the Reader's Digest quick version, how does it end? I forgot. That's not the one where they meet on New York.
They
Is it-
do. They meet at the
okay,
top
that's-
of the Empire State
It's
Building.
Tom Hanks,
Tom Hanks.
not
And-
not Billy Crystal.
And what's her name? She was married
Melanie
to
Griffith?
No, Jack Quaid's mother, Meg Ryan,
Meg Ryan.
and Rita Wilson is in it, and Rob Reiner, I believe, directed it. Who's gone now?
I've got a Rita Wilson story.
Okay, Rita Wilson.
Her brother used to be in a band with one of my friends, and I'd go to LA and watch it, and then Tom and Rita would show up and watch them play.
Nice.
And she was always nice. Like, some people aren't nice. They're Hollywood or
Yeah.
whatever. She was always nice.
I've always loved her, even when people didn't know who she was. I thought she has some kind of magnetism. And our friend Annie Bosco writes a lot of songs with her.
Yeah, yeah.
And I would love to hear him sometime. I'd be curious to know what kind of stuff she writes.
I love Annie Bosco, and she wrote with Raul Mal. Raul Mal, it's hard to say.
Right. Boy, talk about a death we haven't talked about on the podcast, but that was a brutal one. I mean, talk about somebody who loves music, who was really his authentic self, brought who he was to everything that he did.
And
I mean-
and the Mavericks had that sound that you would know, hey, that's a Maverick song,
Yeah.
and it just cut right through everything. I felt
And
like.
it really, if you listen to a Mavericks album, you hear how much influence that music carried in California since then.
Yeah, I agree with that. Yeah, for sure.
All right. I talked to a friend this morning who's in Los Angeles. He's doing some medical stuff. You know him, Paul Chadurgian. I talked to Paul.
Yeah.
Anyway, Paul is in Los Angeles. I reminded him that 40-something years ago, he was going to USC film school, right? And
Wow.
I went and stayed with him for a couple of days. I guess this was 1988. I went and stayed with him for a couple of days in his dorm. And his dorm was the dorms that they built for the last Los Angeles Olympics. They built student housing there, not student housing, athlete housing. And
Whoa.
then when the athletes left, they moved the USC kids in it and they were dorms. Anyway, here we are all these years later, getting ready for another Los Angeles Olympics. And it made me think, what a colossal waste of time. I've been surrounded by Olympics, Los Angeles, Squaw Valley when I was in Las Vegas. We had them in Atlanta. We had them in
Yeah.
Vancouver. And I haven't gone to see any Olympic Games ever.
You know what's crazy? Okay, in 1988, my friends were going to USC, and I would go down there on a regular basis and hang out with them. And there was a club called the 321 Club. It was right by this. And I'm thinking, there's a chance you and I might have been hanging out there at the same time. And we've never talked about this.
That'd be strange because we had never met then.
No, we didn't know each other. We would have been standing next to each other. And it would thinking, I bet I'll have a podcast with that guy someday.
USC in the 80s was the worst neighborhoods containing the richest kids.
Yeah.
Amazing.
Yeah, because you could be dumb but rich and go there.
Yeah. You can, spoiler alert, if you're rich, you can always be dumb. It's okay.
I remember, okay, this is way before AI and stuff, but if you needed a paper written for your school, there was a guy that sold them, and you'd go to his house and you'd pay, and you would just rifle through old papers like little essays. And it was like $15, and I'd leave with 3 essays. Retype them, turn them in.
That's fantastic. Before they could really flag you so
They
easily,
couldn't
right?
flag you.
Yeah. Oh man, those were the days. Those were the days.
The good old days.
Gonna help me with my project? Yeah. Okay, write it.
Perfect.
Hey, so this is interesting, kind of an interesting day we've had here today for walking into the aquarium without really any topics to talk about.
Yeah.
I appreciate the fact that you went and got this People magazine and then let me pretend like I pulled it out of my bag.
Well, I like that.
How
And I
many more
did not cheat.
installments?
$6.99 for this.
No, thank you, man.
I mean, I haven't bought a magazine in years.
Yeah.
I did. I almost bought. There was a Mad magazine there, but it was like it was $12.99. I'm like, everything
What?
is online. You don't
What?
have to. It's like, I mean, it's cool.
I know. If these days, if you want the paper, you're paying for the tree, man.
Remember, they used to always have cologne ads in there too.
Mm.
I remember my buddies were like, for on a date, they
do
just go to a
remember that.
magazine and rub it on it.
Hey, I got a date. I have to leave early. I got to stop by Barnes and Noble.
Or I'm gonna go by the mall and get